Blood on the Pavement. Written by P-Storm Universe Stories. The sirens cut through Harlem like the city's own scream, loud, raw, and tired. Detective Riya Mercer stepped under the flickering street lamp as officers sealed off the block of 127th and Lenox. Her breath steamed in the cold air, but sweat still gathered at the back of her neck. 20 years on the force, and this scene made her stomach twist. The victim lay sprawled across the pavement, blood spreading in a long, uneven trail as if his last moments were a desperate crawl. Even with the white sheet covering most of him, the crimson seeped through. Officer Delgado swallowed hard. "This ain't normal, Mercer." Riya crouched down, lifting the edge of the sheet. The man, young, no more than 23, had eyes frozen wide in terror. His chest bore 3 jagged slashes, uneven and deep. Not from a knife, not from a typical attack. Something tore him open. Riya exhaled slowly. Nothing about this is normal. She rose, scanning the rooftops, the alleys, the shadows. It felt like something was watching, not someone, something. A small sound, scratching, dragging, echoed from the alley beside her. She drew her weapon and approached. "Police!" she called. "Show yourself." The alley was empty, but the wall wasn't. Across the bricks, smeared in something darker than blood, were the words, "I see you." Riya stepped back as a cold wave rippled through her chest. This wasn't a message. It was a challenge. Across town, Kaya sat on her fire escape, hugging her knees to her chest. The night felt heavy, too still. She watched the distant flashing lights and rubbed her hands together for warmth. 2 weeks ago, her best friend Malik disappeared walking home from the rec center. No fights, no trouble, no note. Just gone, and no one cared. Another black boy missing in Harlem, another file gathering dust. But Kaya cared. Kaya remembered the fear in his voice the night before he vanished. "They following me, Kai," he whispered. "Something ain't right." Tonight, looking at the red-blue glow reflecting off the clouds, she whispered back, "It got somebody else." And somewhere inside, she knew Malik's disappearance and tonight's murder were connected. She felt it deep as bone. Back at the crime scene, Riya stayed behind after most officers cleared out. Something about the body, the writing, the silence. She couldn't shake the feeling that the killer hadn't left, that it was still watching her. Footsteps crunched behind her. Chief Daniels approached, jaw tight. "Mercer, we're getting pressure already. This is the 4th torso wound case this month." "4th?" Riya turned sharply. "You told me we only had 1. "We kept the others quiet," he muttered. "Community's on edge." "No," Riya said slowly. "Community is being hunted." Chief Daniels glanced at the body, then at the message on the wall. Fear flickered behind his eyes, quick but real. "Keep this contained," he warned. "Last thing we need is panic." But panic was already here. It just hadn't exploded yet. As the night deepened, a soft shifting sound whispered from the rooftop above the scene. Something crouched in the shadows, low, long-limbed, almost human, but not quite. Its nails scraped the concrete, leaving marks like the slashes across the victim's chest. Its breath rattled, hungry and excited. It watched Riya. Its lips stretched into a grin too wide to be human. Then it slowly crawled backward into the darkness and vanished. Riya rubbed the back of her neck, shivering despite the cold. She had always believed the worst monsters she'd face were human. But tonight, she wasn't so sure. She looked back at the blood slowly inching toward the gutter, thick and dark. Somehow, it seemed like the pavement itself was soaking it in, drinking it, remembering it. "This isn't the last body," she whispered, and in the silence that followed, she could have sworn the city whispered back, "No, it's only the beginning." The morning after the murder, Harlem felt wrong. The sky was gray, as if the sun refused to rise over a street that had tasted blood. Shop owners opened late. Mothers walked their kids to school with their heads constantly turning. Even the birds seemed quieter, like the neighborhood was holding its breath. Detective Riya Mercer sat in her unmarked car, sipping stale coffee and staring at the photos laid out on her dashboard. 4 victims, 4 torn open torsos, 4 crime scenes within a 15-block radius. 3 had been kept off the record. Last night's couldn't be hidden. The mayor was angry. The chief was terrified. But Riya, she was curious. All 4 victims had one thing in common: fear. Not fear of being attacked, fear before the attack. Their phone records showed panicked calls, frantic messages, attempts to call family or friends in the hours before they died. Riya frowned. They knew something was coming. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. She almost ignored it. Almost. Mercer. A young voice whispered, shaky and breathless. "Detective, you don't know me, but you need to hear this." Riya straightened. "Who is this?" "My name's Kaya Thomas, and the boy from last night ain't the first. My friend Malik went missing weeks ago. He said something was following him. He described the same thing the news just described." She hesitated, then added, barely audible, "Detective, there's something hunting us." A chill crept down Ria's spine. "Where are you?" "Behind the old library on 131st. Please hurry, A noise blasted through the phone, like scraping metal. Kaya gasped. "Oh, God!" The line went dead. Ria's tires screeched as she sped toward 131st, heart pounding in her throat. When she reached the old library, she jumped out and scanned the alley. "Kaya!" she called. "Kaya! Thomas!" Silence. She stepped closer, gun drawn. The alley smelled like mold and old paper. Garbage cans were toppled over, their contents scattered. Then she saw it. A phone, cracked, still lit, lying face down near a dumpster. Riya picked it up. Kaya's lock screen flickered with a photo of her and Malik smiling on a rooftop. Riya swallowed hard. Damn it! Something rustled above her. She looked up. A fire escape ladder swayed gently, swinging as if something had just climbed it. But whatever it wasn't visible anymore. Riya holstered her gun and climbed slowly, each step groaning under her weight. At the top, she stepped onto the roof. The wind hit her face. The city stretched out in all directions. Nothing seemed out of place. But then she saw the footprints. One set, small, barefoot, fresh, Kaya's. They led toward the roof's edge, then stopped. Ria's pulse quickened. No, no, no. She leaned over the ledge, expecting the worst, but the alley below was empty. No body, no blood, just the abandoned phone. "Kaya didn't jump," Riya whispered. "Something took her." Behind her, something scraped lightly across the concrete. She spun, gun raised. Nothing, but the air was wrong, cold, thick. Her breath fogged as she turned slowly in a circle, listening, watching. Then she heard it, a low growl, not from a dog, not from any animal she knew. It came from everywhere and nowhere at once. A shadow shifted at the edge of her vision, quick, crawling, spider-like. Riya fired. The bullet hit metal, sparking off a vent. A laugh answered her, high, distorted, unnatural. Riya backed away toward the fire escape. "What are you?" No answer, only the lingering sound of claws scraping. She descended the ladder fast, gripping Kaya's phone like a lifeline. Her mind raced. Someone, or something, was abducting people, watching her, leaving messages, and getting bolder. Across Harlem, in a boarded-up basement beneath an abandoned brownstone, Kaya woke with a gasp. Her head throbbed. Her wrists ached, bound by thick tape. The room was dark except for a dim red emergency light flickering overhead. A wet sound echoed behind her, dripping like water or blood. "Kaya?" a familiar voice whispered. Her heart stopped. "Malik." She turned her head as best she could. Malik sat in the corner, shaking violently, eyes glassy. His shirt was torn, his chest bandaged with dirty cloth. "Oh my God," she whispered. "What happened to you?" Malik looked up, tears tracking down his face. "It comes at night," he whispered. "Don't look at it, Kai. Don't look at its face." A loud clatter sounded above them. Both teens froze. Malik leaned close, voice trembling to a whisper. "It likes when we scream." The light flickered. Kaya held her breath. Something growled in the dark behind the basement door. At the precinct, Riya slammed Kaya's phone on her desk. "This isn't a serial killer," she said, voice tight with fury. Chief Daniels sighed. "Mercer, this is a predator, and it took a child." Daniels looked at her, eyelids heavy, expression broken. "We've been trying to hide it," he admitted quietly, "but we can't anymore. People are dying, Mercer, and whatever's doing this, it's not human." Before Riya could respond, the lights in the precinct flickered. Once, twice, then went black. Every officer froze. A scream erupted from the far hallway. Riya reached for her gun, but deep inside her chest, she knew the thing had come inside. The lights died in the precinct with a sound like the whole building exhaled, and the darkness that followed felt too heavy, too complete. Detective Riya Mercer froze. The emergency generators should have kicked on instantly. They always did, but they didn't. Every officer in the building stood still, holding their breath, listening. Then a single scream tore down the hallway. Riya reacted first. "Flashlights! Now!" she barked. The officers scrambled. A few beams clicked on, shaking in nervous hands. Ria's own beam cut through the dark, but the hallway ahead remained swallowed in black. Chief Daniels swallowed. "Mercer, we need backup." "No." Riya lifted her gun. "By the time backup comes, that thing will be gone." Another scream, closer this time. Riya sprinted toward it. The hallway smelled like ozone and something sour. Fear, sweat, blood. Papers littered the floor. A desk was overturned, its drawers ripped out like claw marks had torn through them. "Hello?" Riya called. A faint sound answered her, a whimper. She swung her light toward the interrogation room door. The glass was cracked. Something had hit it from the inside. "Mercer," Delgado whispered behind her. "This is bad." Riya pushed the door open. Officer Farris sat curled in the corner, shaking violently. His face was pale, drenched in cold sweat. "Farris, what happened?" Riya asked. He looked up slowly. It was on the ceiling," he whispered. "It dropped down. Fast. So fast. I didn't see its face." His voice cracked. "I didn't want to." Riya crouched. "Did it say anything?" Farris nodded shakily. "It said your name." Ria's blood ran cold. Delgado looked at her. "It's targeting you." Riya stood. "Good. Let it." But inside, her heart hammered like a trapped animal. Meanwhile, miles away in the abandoned basement, the flickering red light cast long shadows over Kaya and Malik. Kaya tugged at her taped wrists until her skin burned. "Malik, we gotta get out. Somebody has to be looking for us." Malik shook his head. "They won't see it coming. Nobody ever does." "What is it?" Kaya whispered. "What did you see?" Malik trembled. Tears welled again. "It's not a person," he said. "It moves wrong, like it's wearing a person." Kaya's skin crawled. "And it keeps you alive? Why?" Malik swallowed hard. "It feeds slow." Kaya's breath hitched. Before she could speak again, a metallic click sounded outside the basement door. Malik stiffened. "It's coming back!" The light flickered once, twice, then went out completely. Pitch black swallowed the room. Malik grabbed her arm with a shaking hand. "Don't breathe loud," he whispered. "And if it speaks, don't answer." A low scraping sound drifted toward them. Then a voice, distorted, wet, too close. "Hello, Kaya?" Kaya bit down on her scream until it tasted like blood. Back at the precinct, the emergency lights finally flickered on, weak and dim, but enough. Chief Daniels looked pale. "We need to shut down the building, evacuate, call in citywide support." Riya shook her head. "If we give this thing chaos, it'll slip out. We trap it inside." Delgado stared at her like she'd lost her mind. "You want to hunt it? In the dark? Inside our precinct?" Ria's jaw tightened. "It took that girl. It wants me. So fine, I'm right here." Suddenly, every phone in the precinct buzzed at once. Dozens of screens lit up. Ria's phone vibrated in her pocket. She looked down. Unknown number. Again. A tremor rolled up her spine. She answered. Who is this? Static, a faint, wet breath. Then the voice, low, distorted. Wrong. Detective, I have the children. Ria's grip tightened on the phone until her knuckles went bone white. If you hurt them. It's not them I want, it whispered. It's you. Her heart slammed. And when I am finished, the voice continued, your city will remember my name. Riya forced her voice steady. What name? Silence. Then, you already know? The line went dead. Daniel stared at her. Mercer, what did it say? Riya holstered her weapon. It wants me. Back in the basement, something scraped across the floor. Kaya pressed herself against the wall, shaking uncontrollably. Beside her, Malik whimpered. The creature dragged something heavy toward them and dropped it. A cold hand brushed Kaya's cheek. She choked back a scream. Then the creature whispered softly, almost lovingly, you should have stayed inside tonight. The footsteps faded. The basement door slammed. Kaya gasped for air. Malik leaned his head back, sobbing. Kaya, he whispered, it's playing with us. Kaya felt panic clawing at her. No, she said fiercely. It wants us scared, but we're not dead yet. She tugged hard against the tape again, hard enough that her skin split. One hand came loose. Kaya didn't feel the pain. She felt something else. Rage. We're getting out of here, she whispered. At the precinct, Riya grabbed her jacket and badge. Where are you going? Delgado asked. To finish this, she said. Daniel stepped forward. Mercer, listen to reason. No. Riya faced them both, eyes sharp and cold. This thing took a girl right after she called me. It left messages at the crime scenes. It disabled our building's power. She pointed at the darkened hallway. It's not running from us. Her voice dropped to a grim whisper. It's calling me out. Outside, the wind cut across the dark streets as Riya walked toward her car, but she stopped halfway. Something moved in her peripheral vision. A shadow, tall, wrong-shaped. It stood under a streetlight, watching her. Riya reached for her gun. The figure tilted its head. Slowly, too slowly, the streetlight flickered. Once, twice. Then the creature stepped forward, revealing its grin, to be continued. Stay tuned for Blood on the Pavement 2.